What's up, guys? It's Will with King's Cards. So yesterday I went to my local OTS store and I picked up the three of the new Blue Eye Structure deck. So this is a deck that I've been waiting to come out for quite a good minute. I don't think it's going to be like the best deck in the room. I think this deck does have like a couple of issues in the format, mainly being Detonator, but like what deck doesn't? Um, so a couple of days ago, I posted my basically if you had three structure decks and then like a couple of staples to add on to it, how I would build this deck, and this is just going to be the deck if all you have is three structure decks. I still think this deck is really solid. I think you could easily take this deck like the way that it sits to a regional, and if you play perfectly and have a couple of things go your way, you could get your invite to nationals at a regional. But with that being said, so the reason I wanted to show this is that like I have seen a couple of other people have put out their lists, and I don't think that their lists are as good as it can be, or as good as this deck can be with just three structure decks. Um, the only thing that is kind of lacking is in the side deck. So all of the good cards that are non-engine are already going to be like sitting in the main deck. So you have to kind of like make some concessions, um, especially when you're really just playing three structure decks. You got to do it what you got. So I will say, like the side deck, you can very easily upgrade it for like $2 or $3. And I'll tell you, like some of those cards that I would put in there. We'll just go ahead and get into the main deck. So for the engine monsters, I am playing 3 copies of Sage. This is the best one card starter in the deck. So on normal summon, it's not a once per turn normal summon effect. You just add a level 1 light tuner. And then most of the time you're going to be grabbing the Maiden of White. This card's absolutely insane. So you can send it from hand or field to the graveyard to place your True Light from your hand, graveyard, or deck face up in your spell and trap zone. If you summon Blue Eyes White Dragon while she's in the graveyard, you can just special summon her back out, and then she just keeps going back to the graveyard, so you just always have access throughout. Like if you get her in the graveyard and she doesn't get Bisfield, you just are always going to have recursion to get her back out from the graveyard. She does have another effect that comes up in some combos where if she's targeted, you can chain her effect and then summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your graveyard, so that will come up. Then I'm playing 3 copies of Neo Kaiser Seahorse. So I wanted to play Seahorse because this card is one card full combo. It's not as good of a one card combo as Sage is, but it is still a one card full combo, and I do like that combo a lot. Because it still ends on like roughly 3 disruptions when you do that. And I think like you're playing 6 normal summons, which in my opinion normally breaks the math of 40 cards. But I think it's fine because you're playing like you have a Link 1 that searches a field spell that sole purpose is to give you multiple normal summons per turn. So this card is just absolutely crazy, and it gives you like more starters in a deck that is a little hungry for starters. Then I'm playing 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'm playing an Ultimate Fusion heavy build, so we are going to be like maxing these out because we just want to like start loading our graveyard up with these and getting them in rotation just so we can put them back with Ultimate Fusion. This is the best artwork, by the way. Easy. Then I'm playing 1 copy of Jet Dragon. I don't think Dragon Spirit White is like actually like I don't think it really comes up that much. So we're just like banishing 1 back row. There's not really like back row decks, so to say, in the format, and like the decks that do play like spells and traps, like it's just not gonna come up for you like that. But this card, when you play this card, it just means that you always have an out to Ryziel Detonator, like somewhere in your deck that you can like relatively easy get access to. Just because like Blue Eyes monster is destroyed, you can summon this, and then go to battle phase, you attack, damage step, you use the effect, and you return the Detonator to the hand. So it even clears the Detonator while still being able to beat the Eclipse Twins if it didn't have that underneath it as material. But other than that, this is all the engine monsters that I'm playing. It's like really short, sweet, to the point. I don't think you need to play any other cards in the deck. No White Stones, no ritual monsters, anything like that in the main deck. Then for the spells, I'm playing 3 copies of Wishes. This card's Ryziel Duo Drive in a spell card form. This card's absolutely insane. It searches for your Sage, your Maiden. You can even search for the effect Veiler. So you just want to kind of max out on this card. It also does have the effect that helps you. You take a fusion from your extra deck and you equip it to a Blue Eyes, which is really good in an Ultimate Fusion deck because you can use it to like equip a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then sync her off for Spirit, and then you automatically have the 2 cards in the graveyard to make Tyrant Dragon. So where you can get Ultimate Fusion, shuffle back the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and the Blue Eyes White Dragon back into the deck, summon Tyrant, and pop 2. And then I'm playing 3 copies of Roar. I'm playing 3 of this because this card isn't like a starter, but it's just a really good extender. So I like this card a lot. So like, I mean, like I said, you're normally not going to be maxing out on this in a Blue Eyes deck, but you kind of are in this version of the deck just because you have to. But either way, it's a fine card. Then 3 copies of Ultimate Fusion. I'm playing through this because you just want to see it. If you open this card in combination with any starter, this card just becomes absolutely bonkers. Just because like this deck plays through hand traps, the 1-for-1 trade hand traps of the format, which is going to be like your Ashes, your Veilers, your Imperms. It plays through those so well to where you can still set up some kind of end board and then with interruption. So then if you have this backing it up, you just have like a free pop too. Then I'm playing the 1 copy of Mausoleum. This is an engine requirement. Just have something to search off of the Link 1. So that's it for engine spells, and now engine traps. I'm playing triple copies of Majesty, and then the 1 True Light, of course. So we'll put this over here. I'll explain the Majesty. So I saw in Pax list that he was doing that he's playing 3 of this, but I do think he's correct in that. And the reason being is that we've seen a lot with Pure Ryzeal that they're like main decking Solemn Strike, and they're doing that because the format is slow enough to where you can play high value trap cards. And I do see this as like a high value trap card. I don't think it's as high value as Solemn Strike, but I mean, look guys, 3 structure deck, make concessions. At that point, like, and then you are playing 3 Blue Eyes, so like this card does have the potential to just like pop 3 anytime you need it to. And then, like I said, the side deck, like you really just have to throw cards together and hope it's good, so like the ritual effect does come up post side. So that is it for the engine pieces. And then for the non-engine, we're just gonna max out on everything that they give us. Veiler's especially good just because like you're gonna go through all 3 of those so fast, because it's just hyper searchable in the deck. 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 3 Imperm, and a Cold Buy. It's not the largest amount of hand traps, but it's the largest amount of hand traps Konami's ever given us in a structure deck. So we will 100% take that. But all of those, you're just gonna play those 100%. For the extra deck. I have 2 copies of the Spirit and 2 copies of Heretic Seal. I don't think you need more than this. 2 Spirit is just fine. You just need one of those to resolve to get your field spell, and then you're good. But it's also like having the second one, if your first one resolves, is also important because then it just becomes like a monster reborn. Basically, you can just link off a level 1 Light Tuner, summon this, and then use the effect, tribute it off, summon Blue Eyes, and then get your Maiden back from the graveyard. So anytime that you can make this card, even after the first one resolves, this card just represents a level 9 Synchro. And then 2 Heretic Spears. It's just a good interruption that you can make often. It does suck not playing Dragon Spirit White, but then again, Dragon Spirit White is just another brick that you're putting into a deck that already has like a bunch of like engine requirements that don't do anything by themselves. So this card most of the time, like at least it can still summon out like the Neo Kaiser Seahorse, which is like a good piece of follow up. So that's it for the Link monsters, and then we're playing 3 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. This is the best synchro in the deck. It's kind of like the sort of boss monsters. It's just cards you're always making, and it like facilitates you getting into your boss monsters. And then we're playing the 2 ultimate spirits, and then the 1 Azure Eyes. I think you have to play Azure Eyes, just because like this card is so good against the. It's good against Pure Ryzeal, and then it's also really good against the Ryzeal Mitsurugi deck, because like just putting this on the field makes like all of your other cards. Like all your other dragons are going to be so difficult to deal with, and it's not just for that turn, it's until the end of the next turn. So like it's basically just going to like kind of blank their detonator for a turn. So that is it for the Synchro monsters. For the fusions, I am playing 2 copies of Tyrant Dragon. This is like the main fusion that you're always going to make, because this is like the easiest one to make. But this card's like absolutely phenomenal, and especially when you're playing like triple Majesties, like being able to reset those back, like clear an entire field out, even if you can't kill them, just reset a Majesties back, and then just have full control of the game. Then I'm playing the Twin Burst. I like making this card a good bit because this card is like an out to Ryzeal detonator in its own way, and like in multiple ways. If you're able to make this, you can go to battle phase. This card can't be destroyed by battle, so you attack into the detonator. If they protect the detonator, then you use the effect, and then you banish the detonator. If they decide to let the detonator go because they have an Eclipse Twins underneath it, and then go Eclipse Twins to summon the detonator back, then you can just attack it again. And then at that point, if they decide to protect it then you can use the effect and banish the detonator. Then I'm playing the 1 copy of the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is just a good card that you can put into the graveyard with the wishes to equip, and then it gives your Blue Eye Spirit Dragon targeting protection, which is actually like pretty good because there's a lot of Metaltronus into the format right now, and when people are playing Metaltronus, then you can use this to protect your Spirit Dragon because like Metal Tyrannus, they literally just target it and then they can summon a Bestial from the deck. It's a dragon with 2500 attack. Then I'm playing the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I think you have to play this card in the Ultimate Fusion build because it gives you to where you can go Wishes, equip this to your Blue Eyes, and then just go Synchro off into Spirit. And then if you have Ultimate Fusion, you now have Blue Eyes plus this, so you get to summon the Tyrant and have pop 2 just off of without having to like bend and anything else. But like most of the time, your equips are always just going to be these 2 cards, and it's it's good enough. It's serviceable. So that is it for that. Now the side deck. Now guys, I literally just threw some cards in here. I don't think you're ever actually like going to do anything with this. So it's Chaos Max. I don't know when you would put this in. I mean, I guess it's good against Ryziel, and I guess it's good against Ryziel Mitsurugi. Can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, but it's a lot more commitment from the main deck to ritual summon these than it is for like other cards that you could be doing instead. 3 Chaos Form to summon it, so you don't have to like always rely on your trap card to be able to get there. 3 Dictator of D. This card, like I considered main decking this just because like it is a card that like loads up the graveyard with Blue Eyes for the Ultimate Fusion, but I just decided against it because I thought that like it would start to get a little redundant with playing cards like this because this card it's a do nothing card, and like a list like this, like it just doesn't feel very good to play this card in the main deck. Then 3 Burst Stream. You can search it off your field spell if they get rid of it, and it's a conditional Raigeki if you have Blue Eyes on the field. And then 3 Destined Rivals is actually the only card in the side deck that I've like actually put in. You could, now I'm thinking of it, you could probably side the Dragon Spirit of White for like random back row matchups, but this card's actually good. It's like if you control Blue Eyes, it's like a trap card, Dark Ruler. So that is pretty good. But either way, if you got like an extra $5 hanging around, or if you have the cards hanging around, please, for the love of God, like Artifact Lancia, Chaos Hunter, even like Burial from a Different Dimension, maybe some Droll and Lockbirds, even if it's just a Bestial Magnemite, Solemn Strikes, Skill Drain, cards like that, you can just go ahead and put in here. Like you can easily build like a very competent side deck that is good into the meta for pennies on the dollar. Go get you some Ultimate Slayers and a Mereologic Aggregator. That would be fine too. Even if you just have like Bestial Baldrake, because that's like the cheapest Bestial. The commons are like 25 cents. It is a card that you can summon off of Hermetic Seal, and so you can summon a card that is like theoretically Interruption off of Hermetic Seal, but it's also a hand trap in its own right. So even cards that are like really inexpensive like that would be really nice in the deck. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna try and show off some combos with this at one point, but don't like hold me to that or anything. I do have a busy weekend coming up. I have a regionals on Saturday, so we'll be a little bit busy. But again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good one.